Welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. This is Brian and Jimmy. Can we help you?
I have a motorcycle related problem, and can you fix this?
Yeah. What would you like? Medicine?
No, I wanna have Jimmy answer my question. Wait, I am Jimmy.
You're the doctor, Dr. Jimmy.
Yeah, and we're gonna answer all of your questions on this amazing episode of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday.
We're going to try.
Live from Pahrump, Nevada, Valley of the Dirt People. This is Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. This is the show where we talk about motorcycle and motorcycle related products. And tonight we have a special guest. Yeah, special. One and only Brian Fullerton of Acerbis, which is super awesome, and trying to get Brian on the show for a long time. If there is anybody that knows a lot about motorcycle plastic, Brian is your man. And we'll
that's
get
about
into
it, though.
That's it. You're sure? I don't know. We'll get into that and many more things. So, good evening. Today has been a bad day for not necessarily. I mean, I had a bad day, but other people had a way worse day, which is really bums me out. So we'll get into some of that, and but we're going to try to keep the stoke alive here, and that's kind of what I mean. I actually almost didn't want to do the show. I mean, I like to be stoked. I like to be stoked when I do the show, and I just got busy and busy and crazy. There's a lot of stuff was going on, and it was like, I don't know if I can concentrate, but it's like, no, this is like my job. So I'm going to, even when you're bummed out or you don't feel good, you still got to go do your job, but you can't bring that into the job. You got to do the job. And so the job
I forced you to do the show. I forced you to do it tonight. So, yeah.
Right. Wait a minute. Wasn't it the other way around? Didn't I force you to do the show?
Good to go. I'm good to go, man.
I see this. It didn't sound that way at the first text back. I'll tell you that. I got a little bit. Oh, maybe I should have told him a little bit earlier.
And you know why it's okay? Because yes, that's right.
That's good, Brian. You are doing something that I don't get to. I'm just having a nice little seltzer water this evening. Just go
help your tummy, help soothe your tummy for the bad day.
No, it's just better than the tap water around here. So, yeah. Anyways, welcome to the show. This is episode number 170. I can't believe we've been doing it that long. I say that every time that we do that. And this show is brought to you by a bunch of great sponsors, one of which is not Acerbis, as much as we've tried.
One of these years, I think maybe it'll be the 55th first year.
50. I think that you guys actually helped us out a little bit in some way, shape, or form early on, like in the 25 episode zone. It was probably some crazy product trade out. One of those awesome
deals.
There. Hey, maybe one of my guys at Dirt Bike Test ran the wrong handguards in an off-road shootout, and we had to do like a make good or something like that. What do they call that? When somebody screws up. So wasn't me.
Yeah. Anyways, but if it was Cycra handguards, Jimmy, I mean, that's our sister company. It's okay.
Okay. I didn't know that you guys were part of Cycra.
Yeah. It was April 1st of 2018. Franco bought them.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah. No, that was another good company. They make some pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
I always remember this about Cycra is they actually were one of the first companies that went and sort of took a stock plastic piece and then redesigned it and made it better. Like some of the radiator shrouds where they actually made the shape so it didn't catch on your leg, or put the venting and the channeling in, and then this is kind of commonplace for some companies as well. But,
exactly. Yeah. They're modified shrouds and number plate, and then they do some rear fenders.
Yeah.
Like air. I don't know how the air gets into the rear fender, but it does.
Well, it's just it would allow more channeling underneath the seat. And it's kind of funny because the manufacturers, like the minute that somebody made a better piece of plastic than a manufacturer, they copy it right away. They have that stuff on there. But anyways, this show would not be possible without the help of Yamaha. And the good thing is I don't have a Yamaha read, so that's all I say. Yamaha. Mm-hmm. Taco Moto, who is bringing you Roost Endo. Brian, are you familiar with our Roost Endo segment?
Yes. Matthew got me all up to date on it. Yep. Good.
Because basically this is where people send us a picture of their bike, tell us a little bit about it, and then we bag on it. Climb. I'm in love with Climb. I'm wearing Climb right now. A great way to make a day bad is to not be able to ride and not ride. And that's what I did today. And I always talk about what I wore when I was riding. I will talk about this. Actually, we need to do the product of the week. Remind me to do product of the week because I have something.
Okay.
So I'm wearing a Climb beanie and a Climb. This is that underlayer shirt for staying warm.
What happened to ours? Is it holy?
Oh, the sexy shirt. If you think I have the sexy shirt underneath here, you never know. It's not that kind of show.
I thought you only slept in the sexy shirt these days.
No, I ride in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sleep naked.
You still have it, and it's holy.
It's holy. It's
Didn't
like
the Pope bless it?
They were blessed by some things, and most people that see it need to get blessed after they see me in it. It's that.
There's more miles in that. There's more miles in that shirt than I've ridden 10 years.
But I have 5 or 6 of them. I every time Walter came over, he'd always bring me some, or anytime I'd go over there and I'd run into any of the Acerbis guys, because it's funny because everybody in Europe had them. Like in America, you could not get these things, and it's funny because I saw them from Acerbis way before I started seeing it on all the technical like running and cycling and all these other active wear companies picked up on that particular. It's basically Coolmax. It's a Coolmax net, and so when you sweat in it. It builds like it's kind of what a lot of these shirts do. They kind of have a little isolation layer in there, so there's a little bit of warm air in between. But anyways, Climb stuff is like that. Almost they don't have a sexy shirt. I don't know if I've pitched them on the sexy shirt idea yet. I should.
I'm working on it.
Maybe I could get a signature. Edition, dude. If people wore
I'm
that,
working on it.
Yeah, it'd sell out. DDC,
Jimmy.
Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry, I was going to say they still wear them in the discotheques where they were designed in Europe.
Dude, right said Fred. If you have one of those, if you can't afford like real, what do they call it? Like real videos to play on your screen at your bar, and you have to like go to one of those free services. Like Right Said Fred, who had a band called "I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt," and this is why we called it Sexy Shirt because they were wearing this net mesh. These dudes are like 50, and they redid the song wearing those shirts again. Yeah. And so it plays all the time, and every time I put it on, I cannot stop singing that song, and I usually dance a little bit. And my friends that are around me, like a lot of times it's on multi-day trail rides where I'm just running the thing, and they're so over it. But I put it on an Instagram, I think, or something like that once, and I have friends that still like to show it to me. They think it'll embarrass me, and I'm like, do you want to see it live?
It's a 25-year-old shirt, dude.
That's good. It lasts a long time.
I've been here for 25 years, and I remember sending them to you when I first started.
Who the hell would wear these? Jimmy will.
Jimmy will. Yeah.
DDC, makers of awesome trail wheels, chain wheels. And I was thinking trail. I started thinking Trail Tech before I got there. Trail Tech, Fasst Company, Seat Concepts, Bulletproof Designs, and Double Take Mirrors, all supporting this show. We made $23 off of our Amazon click-through link last month, Matt. Ooh. I was going to tell you that we're killing it there. So if you're buying something on Amazon, I know you bought all your Christmas presents on Amazon. You didn't click through our link. It's obvious. But Matt's going to go hungry for a couple weeks if you don't do this. And as well, we have links at Rocky Mountain MC. So they have everything. And if you buy anything for your motorcycle, go through the link on Dirt Bike Test. We get a small chunk of it. It really helps us out, and that is good. Hey, Jesse Gent on our things mentions that Acerbis has a very generous military discount, and
yes, sir.
Super stoked that you were doing that. Chris Reel is with me on a hard start to 2023. And yeah, Mark is out there. He's doing Mark Daniels, a longtime supporter of the show. He does Tech Talk, Taco, and Tequila Tuesday. He added an extra T to it. So he's got his own division of this. I usually do tequila, but it's not happening tonight. Driving. So
we're sponsored by
Estrella Jalisco. Yeah. That's super tasty looking right now. I'm not going to kid.
It's pretty good.
It does.
I'd open it just for you, buddy.
I appreciate that. Have two for me. Actually, you're on a program though. You're Brian Light compared to
not that many people know.
Yeah, you're Brian Light compared to the old days.
Yeah, 65 pounds down.
That is awesome. I need to figure out how to drop about 20 to 30.
It's easy.
And stop drinking beer.
Stop drinking beer. cut out all the unnecessary crap. Don't overeat, and then pedal your bike and bikes.
I think all of that is really good advice, and it's probably the most sage and simple advice that I mean, it's funny. It's like there's no magic in this. Just do it.
No,
it's like bad. I got bad habits.
Yeah.
Hey, so since 2009, Seat Concepts is making handmade seat products that are made in the USA. We kind of forget how awesome made in the USA stuff is, unless we're talking about Acerbis, which is made in Italy a lot of the time. Italian stuff, and they have seat styles available in a variety of options from low to tall. I like the tall, even though I have short legs. Narrow to wide. I like a certain shape of seat that's narrow in the front and wide in the back.
That's what I have.
Yeah,
I do. No, on my CRF.
Oh, you have the Seat Concept seat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely a bike that could use that. We rode a couple CRFs last week, 2 weeks ago. Trevor and I did. Trevor lost all the footage. Footage. Yeah, he got like a new camera, reformatted a card, dropped some stuff on a disk drive, and the disk drive blew up, and then had nothing. And so, 2 days of shooting.
Oh no,
gone. At least half of the riding was fun.
Trevor's fired.
He can't fire slaves.
Don't feed him.
Well, that's probably next. Like that. Well, we talked about that. If you don't buy stuff on Amazon, Matt doesn't eat. It's that simple. We're not lying.
Exactly.
About this. So, hey, we are going to answer your motorcycle product related questions because Brian is an expert. So if you have questions about plastic, I'm pretty sure that he can answer them. So it's always good to have an expert here. When we need oil questions, we talk to Chris Reel. Suspension guys, I got a few different guys. Those I need to get George to come back on the show. I'm super stoked on my suspension guy, George. But I do have a very famous suspension guy that we can potentially get on the show as long as we don't talk too much about suspension, especially modern, super modern, like top secret suspension stuff. But if we talk about like racing a Husky 125, racing a Husky one, I'm going to give it away. Racing, and if people can, some people because they know me, this guy when I was racing 125 novice, I used to race against him. And he rode the trickiest Husky 125. It's going to surprise you. It's really going to surprise you. And it'll be an awesome show because we just when we get around each other, we just start BSing about stuff. And the conversations are so cool because he has a lot of history and I have a lot of history, and we know a lot of the same people, worked with a lot of the same people in different times, different things. It's super cool. So I'm excited for that. That would probably be the first show in February is kind of when it's sort of semi-scheduled to happen. So anyways, and if you want to call, surprise. If you want to call into the show, the Seat Concepts Hot Seat Highline number is 775-318-5515. Maybe Matt will take your call. He might just throw you straight on the show. And one other thing I wanted to bring up is sometimes we have gifts and prizes for the callers or just the best call or the best comment or different things. And I always say, do something, email us, whatever it is. There's always something to it. Well, and Mark Daniels, your shirt is here. It's just, I haven't had time to put it in the bag and send it to you. And I'm not going to be able to do it on this particular go around, but your shirt's coming. We got to remember that. Mm-hmm. I have the address. It's all good. It just needs some assembly required. But there was a couple things that we said in back episodes. So the ones you can watch on the YouTubes or listen to the podcast, prizes that went unclaimed, they're still claimable. So if you're listening to this now at a later date and you're going back through the archives, and we have 169 other shows, if not more, where there's little nuggets dropped in there where you could, if you, I don't know which ones is which, but if you email me or however we decide to do it, some of them were call-ins, but I guess if you called in and you say, hey, I'm pretending like I'm calling in because they said to do this, you can email me or Matt. It's pretty easy to figure out how to get a hold of us, and we can help you out. Like, there's discount codes and all different kinds of things we've done. So, should we go right to the questions on the sheet?
Yeah, we can bust out those sheet questions.
Do you want to?
I can go ahead and read them.
What is RJ?
So RJ is asking, I know TTT does not talk about racing, but can Jimmy discuss what the navigation experience is like for the riders/racers at Dakar? I understand a bit about the road book, but in Jesse's and Cody's podcast, Dakar Rally Daily, they talked about the riders just barely missing a waypoint and having to go back to make sure they could tag it. Can Jimmy talk about the technology on the bike that allows them to record the waypoint? Thanks.
Yes, I can. So waypoints, it's a lat long that's on the road book, and it's not, you're not going to get the lat long in the road book. It'll just tell you waypoint like WPM or WPC or WP. There's all different kinds. WP, what's the new one? P, precise. There's all these different types of, and they change them a little bit every year because they're trying to make stuff different. So this is a point. And the road book will tell you exactly how to get there. Now, exactly is kind of dependent on the type of waypoint and whatever, but that point is an exact point. And on the bike in Dakar specifically, they have something called an ERTF, and it's a brand name of a GPS, or it's a tracking company, but it's GPS unit. So it's called the ERTF, and essentially it's a GPS unit that records exactly where you go, and it knows what speed you're going, and it can transmit your position. So it does all these different things. But for the rider, what it does is, and it's hooked in through what they call the Sentinel, the beeping thing. So if you like come into a speed zone, it'll beep, and it gives you beeps that you've cleared waypoints or make waypoints or not. So it depends on the type of waypoint. Sometimes that device, when you get close enough to a waypoint, it will actually open up an arrow, and the arrow will point you exactly to the center of the waypoint. And then as you get closer, at a certain point, when you get close enough, you achieve the waypoint, you get it, and then it clears and that arrow will turn off. There's other waypoints where there's no arrow at all. It's just you have to go through it. And so imagine you're on the freeway, and this is the way, and you're in the far right lane, and the waypoint is out in the far left lane. And if it's a certain kind of waypoint with a really small radius bubble, you will miss that waypoint. So think about what's happening is a lot of times there's a waypoint and a turn. And if you watch the videos and stuff, you can see that everybody's kind of cutting the turn a little bit. Or maybe even the first guy goes and kind of cuts the turn a little bit. Well, on your map book, it tells you need to be going through a waypoint, and if it's one where arrows don't open up and you don't get that beep, you've missed it, and so you have to go back. And generally, a good navigator would know exactly what happened and just go back and hook it real quick. And what happens with other guys that are just follow them? Let's say you cut that turn a little bit more, and then you're really racing and not thinking about it. These guys ride right past it and just completely miss it, and then you get to the next waypoint in the road book. And the ERTF asks you, do you want to skip? And then you go, oh, do I want to skip that? Because that's 15 minutes or an hour or whatever it is. And then it's like, oh, now I have to go a long ways back. But this is stuff that the top guys are all very aware of. They train for it. But you have to put it in your routine. And so some guys don't have it in their routine. They don't get to train with an ERTF. We train with a system called Rally Blitz. And so Rally Blitz, it actually just works on your phone. It's a little app on your phone that basically tracks you because it's a GPS unit in your phone, and it tracks you and it does all of the same things as an ERTF does. We've used Rally Comp units. We've used Stella units, all different kinds. So every rally kind of has a different system and a different thing, but I think all the FIA rallies run the ERTF, but they all fundamentally work exactly the same. So that's how that works, and it's pretty complex, but it's actually really simple if you just kind of think about it. But motorcycle racers racing
as easy as our old roller rally book. Remember that one?
I have a couple of those still. There's some people that come out here there's guys that come out here to training that don't have anything. And it's like, they tell me they have a full rally system, and they show up and they go, look, here's my phone. This works, doesn't it? And I'm like, no, we're going to print out a roll of paper and put it inside of this, plastic box.
Classic.
I did two Nevada rallies with those.
You did 95.
Yeah, the first 2 years of maybe only the first year. I think the second year I got on the factory Honda, and
that was before me.
We had a mechanical one, but yeah, I still any ones that I didn't crash or somebody else didn't crush, they're there. So RJ, that's what it works. Hopefully that all that stuff answers your questions. But yeah, I think that it's so funny because I haven't gone on this year, but every year once in a while I'll go on some of the adventure rider forums and stuff, and I'll listen to everybody, whether it's from the way that they interpret what they see on the tracking. And like last night I couldn't get the map, wouldn't show up, the tracking map, and they're not showing. This is how much people are into, I don't want to call it cheating, just using every bit of information available to you. They won't let the tracking map go live until the first cars start. And I think they're actually holding it back even farther because you know what? Guess what the car guys would do? They would watch the motorcycles on the tracking map to see if there was any tricky waypoints because you could see it by them having to go back and all this stuff. And so now they won't. Now I think they're going to just eliminate that, completely. But it was late last night when I noticed it didn't come on. I'm like, where's the damn map? And so because I'll watch that and I can kind of see how things are going. So, yeah. Okay. What else do we got there, Matt?
Well, we got some questions from the chat I'd want to get to. Mm-hmm. Let me see here. John Bailey from YouTube was asking, so he's restoring a 2006 Honda CRF 450X. Does Acerbis offer a plastic kit in the latest Honda Red?
Sorry, John, we do not. We don't even make... it's what is it, Jimmy? The shrouds, side panels that are different, and rear, huh?
Yeah,
we don't have the X.
Because the side panels incorporate the airbox, so it was always our stuff. This is correct.
Yeah, unfortunately, just UFO makes that for the X model.
Yep.
Make our X.
Yeah, because it's the same as R. Yeah, that's I'm always
RX tanks.
Yeah, I'm always blown away that a lot of the companies make the, they do all the motocross stuff, but they don't do some of the off road. And I kind of understand with the Honda ones where it's like a new thing, but that bike is around in the same for a million years.
And I mean, I know what you're going to say.
and there's some of these other bikes like Yamaha TTRs and stuff. They sell 1 million of them. They never change them, and it's like you think.
But the only thing is they don't sell 1 million of them in Europe. That's where it gets us. They got to be sold in Europe. Yeah, They probably don't have the X. No,
they hardly did.
I know, and that's the thing. It's like we would have to send the plastics to Italy.
Okay. Yeah, so that some of these bikes, and then the manufacturers obviously know when there's not a aftermarket solution to the fender, because instead of being a $17 or $20 fender, it's a $56 fender, and
exactly.
And it goes up and up, and I have some of those bikes. We have them in our rental fleet and everything, and I really don't change plastic. I don't change plastic on a lot of them because it's like they don't break, they just get ugly, and you want to make it nice, but it's like one tip over and they all look the same. So, okay, what's our next one?
So RP on YouTube was asking, when do you service your adventure bike forks/shocks? The KTM manual states to service is needed depending on use. What would be a good rule of thumb for shock/fork service for an adventure bike?
That's a good question. So I will agree with the manual in that it's dependent on use, because if you're just street riding and not really, you're not, let's say, heating the suspension up, and it's easy for you to figure this out. When you're riding where you're normally riding, stop. Be careful if you're riding it hard. Stop. Put your hand on your shock reservoir. If you can't touch it, you're riding it pretty hard. You're now using it more like what you would call a competition bike. And on an adventure bike, it doesn't take a lot to heat them up because it's a big heavy bike and that shock's actually doing a lot of work. So if you're heating the stuff up and you're using it hard, if you're using it like what I call really hard, 20 to 30 hours would be for me the short end of it. But I'm putting a couple hundred hours on my adventure bikes. But then and I ride them hard sometimes, but not super hard. So I probably do my adventure bikes like every year and a half. I think they kind of maybe a little bit longer because I have a lot of them. So I'm kind of rotating around through them and stuff. So if you feel it, if you start noticing that your bike is like kind of blowing through the stroke and bottoming out, that's a good indicator. And the thing is, if you let it run too long, you're going to just wear stuff out. It's like motor oil. There's oil in there. That's what's doing your lubrication as well as your damping. And when it starts wearing, it breaks down and then it doesn't lube as well. So that's my take there.
Okay.
But to determine if you're getting that thing really hot, do it more. If it's not that hot when you check it, then you can go a lot longer. Go the 200, 150, 200 hours and don't stress.
All right. So Jesse Gent popped in with another question. I have a 5.3 gallon tank on my 2013 KTM 350 EXCF. Always wondered if you guys know that the bolt. Always wonder if you guys knew if the bolt which holds the tank can withstand the forces of the added fuel weight as opposed to the stock tank it was designed for.
That's an Acerbis tank.
Which year?
2013. The 2013 350. It's I don't know.
He's asking.
I don't know if it's a 5.3. I don't know if that's what it is. What's the big giant one? Is it 5.3? It could be.
I can look. I got my computer up here.
Yeah,
but he's asking if that bolt will hold it.
Yeah,
definitely. I've never had any.
I'm going to tell
warranty issues or.
No, I'm going to tell you. Well, you think about it. It's that one bolt on that one shoulder is holding that entire tank down, and it rests on two posts and stuff, and it's sort of in that thing. It's kind of triangulated. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours with that tank on a 500 and a 350. Actually, on my 350, I mostly run the KTM hard parts one, which is also an Acerbis tank. It's that one that's slightly smaller. Yeah, slightly smaller. But they're both big tanks, and I've never had an issue. And I've actually a couple times had that bolt come loose. Like it maybe didn't get tightened properly, or just hours and hours it came loose, and the tank didn't go anyplace either. Although I would honestly, it did worry me when I first saw that that's the only thing. And I know some of the other tank manufacturers actually put additional bracketry and stuff on there, but aside from I didn't think that was an issue. No, I would say aside from cartwheeling your bike, and there's nothing on your bike that was designed for cartwheeling, you're good. Yeah. I've crashed the bike pretty good a couple times, and smashed bumps and all that stuff, and never had an issue. And this is with that thing totally full plenty of times. That's usually when the bad stuff happens, when you fill the tank up.
But if it's breakable, you'll break it, and you haven't broken that bolt. So we're good.
You think about how many hundreds and hundreds of those tanks are out there and stuff. Yeah, it's not a problem.
Thousands. Yeah, that's a good selling tank.
Yeah, and he followed up by saying it's held up so far. He was just wondering if you guys take that into consideration at all. He's had the tank since 2015, and he's had no issues. So I was just curious.
Yeah, I've had him since 2012.
yeah, the 12. Yeah. No, I mean, if we have any issues with the tanks or anything like that, I mean, we'll stop. I'll stop. If we bring them in stock, I usually try to send all new products out to somebody like you, Damon, lately for the adventure bike for the T7. You know, and if there's an issue, we'll stop. You know, we won't ship the inventory out. Literally.
Well, the first thing I showed you with the Tenere tank, I got the Tenere tank, which is a awesome.
Yeah,
because you're getting like 2 more gallons, and there's not really. I mean, it's taller, but it's not any wider. It's where you touch the tank. It's not a big deal. Super cool. And then I sent him. I also put a steering stabilizer on my bike, a Scott steering stabilizer on the bike. And there's a I don't want to call it a clearance issue because it just barely touches it. But Scott's was aware of this, and they said you might have to take some heat to the tank, and I did. I took some heat, got a heat gun, and just pushed back, and I went from like maybe a 0.5 millimeter to 3 millimeters, and I'm fine. Mm-hmm. And then right away, Brian goes, hey, and I sent him some pictures. He goes right away, hey, I'm going to let Acerbis know. I'm going to let them over in Italy so they can make a correction to this, because I think a lot of people will put that kind of stuff on there and to change that. And then the first thing I did is filled my tank up full and let it sit. You know, I rode around, let it sit, and it's not getting super hot, but you know, it's sitting there with all that gas in there to make sure it doesn't move. I don't want it touching, and I don't think it's going to. So,
I know you don't read the instructions.
No, I do.
You do?
I always read.
Do you really?
Well, the funny thing about the Acerbis instructions is it's mostly pictures. Their instructions generally are pictures only, with very little words. That tank does have written instructions and explains all the different steps.
Yeah, the newer ones will for sure. But no, it'll say it on those instructions as well. But it's like 7% or 8% plus or minus the tank. So if it's 5 gallons, like this goes for all tanks, like not just Acerbis, IMS, Clark, whatever. Yeah. But the tank can actually expand.
Yeah.
All tanks can. So, I mean, that's because you put gas in it.
Yeah, we used to put boiling water in tanks. And back in the old days of motocross bikes and stuff, when we were trying to get longer motos or whatever, we put boiling water in tanks and put a little pressure on them, and they would literally bulge. And I mean, I actually bulged some that were hard to get off of the frame because they actually bulged around the frame, and then you had, because they kind of pushed inwards as opposed to outwards. So you had to be careful when you were doing it. In fact, I think it was the perimeter frame Kawasaki's, we were actually, and this is back when I was racing for IMS, competitor, of course, right? There was that perimeter frame Kawasaki, and they had the ones that had the radiator wings incorporated into it. You had to shim those things up because we were expanding those even, and you had to shim those things up because they would wrap around the frame. You'd never get that tank off. You'd be cutting that sucker off. But so
we get a handful of KTM customers out there that will buy a 3 gallon tank, and they will literally email us and scream at us and tell us we ruined their birthday, their race weekend, their whole year because the tank wasn't 3 gallons. It was 2.96 or something like that. Unbelievable. I'm serious. I can't tell you how many emails we get like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure IMS and Clark did the same thing. You know, it's just standard. But
it's something that we know because we do this all the time. You know, we understand that, there's some variance in it and everything. But I think whatever the published was on the Acerbis tank, mine was slightly less than whatever it said. I mean, but by a fraction. But the other thing was, and because I went to the first thing I did is rode it down the street. The gas station is a quarter mile away, less than that. But I had a little bit of gas in there, and so I'm going, okay, the little bit that I put in there to prime the fuel pump is that's the difference there. So I mean, I'm not complaining. And then that's why I leave it full of gas, because it's going to stretch a little bit. It does grow. So, and Mark Daniels wants to know, why does Acerbis not use threaded inserts for the fuel pump on the KTM tanks? I think what is stock I think so. They changed.
It's not us.
Yeah, they've changed back and forth. So when KTM was wood screws, which by the way I like the wood screw. They just seem like they screwed up less, and never froze in the threads.
Me no likey, no wood screws. This is 22, 23.
Yeah, I like the wood screws. I'm fully. I know they're not. What is it? ISO 9000 whatever compliant. I know wood screw doesn't count. It has to have a Torx bit and all the other stuff.
Yeah,
but I was happy with. But I think Acerbis matches whatever stock is. That Yamaha tank was super Sano. Like the threads in those things actually seem like they fit better than the stock ones when I was taking the fuel pump out and stuff. And just
they should. Yeah, they should. I mean, because they use the correct brass inserts and everything like that for that reason. Because that's the other thing we get is people will leave the screw, leave the tank mount on a bike for 2 years and not wash the bike, and then the aluminum and the brass create a little bit of a bonding, and then we owe them a tank. So we fight that. So to answer his question completely with the wood screws is, I mean, you said it. I mean, you said earlier we make the. I don't want to talk about 2023 because I don't want to talk about 2023 KTM or anything like that. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, on the tanks if we're making them for their power parts catalog. But yeah, all the the non-EXC, non-XC W tanks, they're all wood screws. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we just roll with that with the EXCs. Wood screw is my favorite. Yeah.
Sure. I've stripped a few out, but once you learn how not to do it, and then if you do it, you just pump in some kind of an epoxy and just ram another wood screw into it. And I can't
tell that. I can't say that.
I know you can't. Yeah, exactly. And then for a while, KTM had two different size wood screws. And then unfortunately somebody would take the long one. Yeah, they would take the longer one and run it into a gas tank that was required for a shorter one. And it was like, wrong. That one went in your side panel, bro, not in your gas tank. And your radiator shrouds are shooting gas out.
And this guy, but mostly my coworkers, will send out a new tank. I mean, that's the thing is we kind of err on the side of caution. We don't want to get, any liability issues or anything like that. So we will take care of it.
Yeah, that's quality.
If somebody maliciously did it, I wouldn't take care of it. But
right.
So Austin Rayo had a question on YouTube.
Okay.
So when are we going to see the Desert Eagle color plastics for the gas? Tan and red would look very spicy.
Spicy. Well, a lot of these colors that we've been doing lately, the limited edition colors. The tan one was from 2020, and that was just a limited version. So we still have inventory, for some, for a lot of bikes actually, but it's just a limited run. We'll make X amount and then clip it and then do another color. So that was the 2020 color. We didn't do one in 2021, but we've done gray, we've done all the crazy colors that Jimmy won't run because he's scared.
I have a blue KTM. I have a teal, whatever. I have a Rebel Rally colored blue KTM.
The light blue that we made, or
it was the stuff that Troy Lee was running on their bikes. Remember they were
the orange with the light blue.
The orange with the light blue. I managed to get a whole set of light blue, except for the front. Wait, do I have a front fender? The fender's not blue. It's orange still.
I think it is
orange.
Yeah, it's orange. Yeah. That was the only thing I couldn't get in the blue. And then the headlight shell. No, it's not blue. But everything.
Orange.
Yeah, orange, but everything else is it's that bike. It's and the funny because I work on the Rebel Rally, and that is their color. That's the color of the event. So that's I use a big tank and the whole 9 yards on that sucker. So it's good.
Yeah, the orange,
good color.
Oh, good. Sorry.
No, all good.
No, I was going to say the orange blue was the limited edition colors that kind of got everything going. It was like the light blue, and then we did light blue for all the bikes. And then we did the tan, and we did gray. And then currently we're doing, I should have wore that shirt today, but now we're doing the metallic colors. That's the limited edition colors for 2022 going into 2023. But a lot of new bikes for 2023. So they won't carry on to the KTMs and Yamahas.
And the KTM stuff that I got, there was some gray. That's just the standard gray. That's on a metallic. Yeah. So KTM has KTM and Husky have their darker gray. They came out their darker gray, and then we had a lighter gray. Yeah, it's kind of confusing to some people. So a lot of the
descriptions of the colors, I'll put KTM gray, I'll put Acerbis gray, metallic gray. Yeah, there's 3 grays right now. Can look kind of confusing.
I always tell people I don't look at my bikes when I ride them, so I don't care what mine looks like. I might have
but
to
we
look
want
at yours.
them to.
Yeah, they look at my bike. I mean, some of my bikes look pretty good. I just threw on. I had a 6 days. I have an Italy, and it was like a combination of white, and it was mostly a white kind of KTM, but it has the orange frame. But I just threw all orange on that one, and orange fork guards, orange everything. I love that. I like the way that bike looks. Just plain orange. There's no logos or nothing on it. Just looks sleek. Looks nice.
Wood screws and all.
Wood screws. No, there's no wood screw. That's got an EXC tank. They have to have the threaded inserts on that thing. It's still stock.
Yeah,
stock tank.
So the EXC, so it's weird. The EXC US version tanks are all US homologated. So the stock EXC tanks are brass inserts, and we follow the European way.
Okay.
I don't think I answered all that question all the way. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why the EXCs, the US. So an EXC US version is different tank than Euro. Euros is going to be wood screws.
Okay. So when you get a big, if I got it for my, I should know because the 19 and the 20 are the same. I have a big tank for my 19, and was it wood screws? Mm-hmm. I don't remember. I just assemble it. I have one of those hardware kits with all the different things. So if I have to go from the regular ones to the other ones, I've got it in stock. Didn't slow me down. So okay. Any other questions there, Matt?
Nothing from the chat right now, but we'll go from the sheets.
Tour of Idaho.
Yeah, so Sean Casey quoted, in quotation marks, "Don't let your protective gear cause you to crash."
Why did he say that? Did I say something?
You might have mentioned.
I was on the Tour of Idaho. I stopped by and visited Brian at the office. I
have that picture on my phone.
Actually, I actually picked up, what did I pick up? Like a headlight for my the guy who's filming for Will. I remember I came there. There was something that he needed, and I actually you're like, oh yeah, I got one of those. It was something you had laying around in the office actually, and he's like, yeah. I was like, I think it might have been a headlight because he was like on an XC type bike, and he didn't have a headlight, and I didn't want him to get stuck out at night, because he would ride with me in the morning, ride back to the van, drive the van someplace, usually get a shot in the middle of the day, then drive the van, and then sometimes he'd park and then he'd try to ride back out. And I'm like, I don't want you to get stuck at night. I mean, I've got a really good headlight. And so I think I grabbed a headlight from him, and that ended up working out. He was stoked. Like gifts. So don't let your protective gear cause you to crash. Yeah, I don't remember.
Maybe there was a quote about wearing too much protective gear.
Yeah, it could have been.
Kind of like
and that's something I tell people all the time. I mean, I see some people wear so much protective stuff, it's going to make them use it. It's like they can't even walk. They can't get on their bike, and chest protectors, neck braces, donuts, like extra. Who knows? And it's like, hey, I get you want to be safe, but like Travis here just bit out.
He just said use his protective gear.
Travis is like protective gear. No way. So,
do you remember a big chest protector back in the old days? The Zoom. I think you wore that.
I wore one of those sometimes. Yeah,
the Zoom. Yeah, we did the Zoom too.
Yeah, when I might have worn it in the Incas rally. I don't remember.
I'm positive you did.
Oh yeah.
No, I remember seeing photos. Yeah,
maybe on some of the stages, maybe on some of the fast stages or something like that. Who knows?
It was cool back then to wear chest protectors.
Was it?
I think so. We sold a lot of them.
So I was always like chest protector was I was an HRP guy. I always wore the HRP chest protector for the suspended shoulders, which the Zoom had. Yeah. And I think I wore the Zoom in the Nevada rally. Come to think of it, because
you were all at Acerbis gear and everything, head to toe.
I think the first year I might have been. The next year I think I was actually in Pro Sport, which eventually became Fly. Dear God. Yeah, because it was.
That's right.
Yeah, Terry. Pro Sport was Terry Baisley's thing. And he got all of the, somehow he helped with that Honda effort, and he got all of the Honda guys that had, I mean, because I think that Johnny was wearing it at the time, so he was going to get all, we're all going to be like we're all going to get little Johnny Campbell. Oh, I kid you, up at our cabin, I have 2 or 3 Pro Sport bags that are completely full of Johnny Campbell gear. Pro Sport gear.
No way.
Yeah, because they just, you just get tons of it. I probably gave most of it away to my buddies, but I mean, I probably had like 5 bags from just that rally. And it was like, there was probably like 2 pairs of pants for every day. That's how much he gave us.
That's awesome.
Nuts.
That's cool.
So, but anyhow, so I think I wore Pro Sport one time, and I don't know what, maybe Moose the next time. I don't remember. I was a journalist, so I was all over the place. I didn't have sponsors. I could wear whatever I wanted, and and at the time, Acerbis was making some really good gear. It was funny because it was really simple, and this is when materials weren't really that good, and the one thing that Acerbis knew how to do was like kind of the plastic and the parts that they were selling the material
stitching.
To. Yeah,
triple stitching. When people were doing double stitching and single stitching, we did triple stitching back then. I still have some of that gear. I moved here in 2004. I have 2002, 2003 Acerbis gear, and I could wear it every day this summer, and it will not wear out.
Yeah,
it's thick and heavy though. Well, back then, I mean, the materials had advanced so much, and some of the technologies in making them and stuff. But there was a time when like companies like Thor and I don't know if Fox was getting into it too much, but some of these other companies were just building all these injection molded pieces and trying to incorporate like protection parts and all this stuff. I remember I wore that stuff because I wore it because it was good. That's a lot of times people vintage gear. I have the old vintage gear.
I still have the sexy shirt.
Oh, you should wear that one night.
I will. It'll be a drinking show. Okay. What's the next question, Matt?
Next question from our sheet is going to be, it's about our Does the Perfect Motorcycle Exist video. This is from Hillbilly for Christ. The problem is the manufacturers have known issues and refuse to resolve them. Another is this is not rocket science, and we know how to set up a great bike, but they all refuse to do it. Could it be planned obsolescence? Ugh.
Hillbilly for Christ is also a hillbilly conspiracy theorist, thinking that manufacturers put known issues into bikes and then don't resolve them. I can tell you with 100% confidence that they don't build problems into the bikes, and they want the bikes to be, they literally want to deliver a perfect bike for everybody. And this is where the problems resolve. This is, well, yeah, they don't want to get sued. They want to have high performing motorcycle. And this is where it's, you've got to figure out, okay, high performing, but also good selling. So high performance, and people will buy up into the performance. So you're not going to make it for actually the average customer, because the average customer is probably, if you built the bike for that guy, it's not going to get good reviews in magazines, and it's not going to be perceived as the best one because it's built for the guy that's not the best rider. The best rider is built for the best bike, and this is why they race and they do all this other stuff. But the bikes that they're racing are nothing like the bike that you're buying. I mean, it kind of, production rule. But to kind of take a step back, they kind of identify this target thing, and then it's like, at that point, how do you fit in with all the regulations you have to comply with if you're doing something that's like street legal, or if something that's going to come in the U.S. and going to be used OHV? There's stuff that they have to meet with, whether it's emissions or sound, or whether it can have a light or not, or is it a pure competition bike? And even if it's a pure competition bike, is it a motocross bike or is it a cross country bike? And there's a big difference between those two bikes. The manufacturers, and they all have their own formula. Some of them do it for like cost reasons. There's only certain things done for cost reasons. This is our motocross bike, except this and this. We're going to change the springs and, maybe put a handguard on it. Something like this.
Exactly.
When you're talking about it, when you're talking about an EXC, a KTM EXC, or, a dual sport bike, KTM just takes their motocross bike and strips it down. and then goes, okay, now we have to meet sound, so we're going to do this, this, and this, and some of that requires making it less powerful, definitely less horsepower. And the things that people don't realize is like the tires that come on those bikes are for sound, not any other reason. The gearing that comes in those bikes, the gears in the transmission, sound is probably the biggest determining factor in the transmission ratios. And then, so it's not like they're giving you the best bike they can to fit within these regulations. Honda makes a whole new bike. Honda doesn't take their motocross bike. It kind of looks like it. It's the same shape. It's using very few similar parts. Yeah, some things, but very few similar parts, because their standard, the way that they want to build it, they can't do it from the motocross bike. It's physically impossible. So they go to all these extra efforts to make the bike work the way it does. So I don't think they're trying to give you the best thing they can, but then it's like, well, how come they make the suspension suck? This is the one that everybody is like, well, if you are, let's just say KTM 350. Let's just pull a bike out of the air. KTM 350 XC. Let's just say that bike. If you're 170 pounds and an intermediate level guy who's going to ride probably more back east style GNCCs, that bike is probably for you. And when I say 170 pounds, I also mean like normal average height. If you're an extra 6 inches tall or really short, it's not going to work. If you're 190 pounds or 140 pounds, not going to work right. And if you do get there and you're 170 pounds, you're like the perfect guy. I'm like kind of the perfect size. I'm a little fat right now, but I'm perfect size for most bikes. And so I hop on these bikes and they work really, really well. But I also know how to turn the clickers. And when they don't work properly, I turn the clickers a little bit. And for me, a lot of times I find that they bottom out a little bit too easy. I don't ever really complain about them being too, I call them mushy or wallowy, because I can kind of tune that out. Most bikes, different forks, things. But I play around with the clickers, and then for sure I can make it better for me. But generally, my setting is not that much better for everybody else. And if I took a bike, and we've done this before, I've taken a bike and I've made it exactly for me, and I have one that's completely box stock, and I have KTM 500s here like that, and I have a regular dude come out and ride them, and if they don't look at the stickers or whatever, they don't pay too much attention, they hop on it more times often than not, and they think they're both modified, they think they're modified or whatever. I'll say, hey, which one do you like better? They will like the stock one better than the modified one until they find out that the modified one is modified, and then it gets better. Almost every time.
It's better. Yeah, of course.
So I don't think, building bikes is not it is rocket science, but it's not rocket science. Setting them up for the right person, for everybody, that's tough.
That is.
So that's what I think.
Well, he did bring up, now that I actually do think it's kind of a valid question at the very end, about planned obsolescence. Yeah.
It's a big word. It's a big word.
It is a big word.
Matt's a physicist.
Not an English major.
Geez.
But you do see that like in the software and tech industry. And I understand why they wouldn't do it. But would you think maybe they hold back on technologies, maybe to incentivize putting them into next year?
Yes, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain manufacturers that are on pretty religious schedules of how often they update certain bikes. Mm-hmm. And there's technologies that are out there that are just kind of sitting there, and some of them are sitting on this stuff that they already know will work and can work, and it's not until they're driven to do it. One thing I like to do is I like to go back and ride my older bikes. I like to ride them that are 2 years older, 3 years older, 7 years older, and see what I feel, because sometimes I forget what that was like, and I go back and I hop on it, and you can see this a lot of times when a manufacturer brings a new bike out. It takes like 3 years to get it dialed, and then they have a fourth year with it, and then the next year they're going to a whole new thing, and it's not necessarily that whole new thing is better. And I think this is where we're at. Like at the current, the bikes aren't going to get much lighter because it's just the expense ratio is going to go way up unless some certain types of materials become way less expensive. We're not going to be able to make them lighter, and that's where a lot of the trajectory has been lighter. But a lighter bike doesn't necessarily work better all the time. There's a point where lightness leads it to becoming a little bit more dancey and a little less stable. Sometimes stable feeling, not less stable, but they're really not going to get a ton more power until there's another leap of, again, technology, and whether that comes in fuels or hybrid or metals. Yeah. Different, stuff that, that you can afford to put in a production motorcycle that won't self-destruct.
Like Stark Industries has got the new metals.
Ooh, Stark Industries. Kind of. Yeah. What, Stark?
Yeah.
So Brian. So one of Brian, my excellent texting conversations came when he informed me that he was going to be getting a Stark. It was like right after the announcement, and I don't remember the details on this, but I bet you that you can remind me what I said when I think you said I'll be getting a Stark in November
of
2 years ago.
2022 last November. Yeah, because I put money on it early last year. I was supposed to get it end of 22, and now it's end of 23.
Yeah. Was it supposed to be end of 22? Or are we a whole year into this? It was, yeah. It was the original delivery date was November of 22.
Exactly, 22. Mm-hmm. $99 down, and you got to pay the rest right before it ships. And I mean, there's people out there saying, it's a scam and this, and I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, I mean,
so what did I say when you said that? What was it to the effect of?
You don't really swear on here, do you?
Good. It was something to the effect of good luck on it.
I think it was like good luck. Yeah, that definitely. But you were right. You said something about suspension. They're like, how are they going to, you started rattling off stuff like there's no way they can come up with all the suspension when we have a shortage as it is now. And you were right.
Yeah. Well, it was not, and I gotta set myself up to not get destroyed here, because even KTM, they were telling me that I'm set in my ways because I rode their electric bike, and they're like, "Oh, Jimmy, you're just set in your ways," and I'm like, "No, I'm calling it what it is." I explained because I'm confused. That bike, that KTM Freeride E, confuses me, and it confuses mountain bike people, and it confuses it. It confuses
dirt bike people.
It confuses everybody. So not just me, but that's because I'm set in my ways. But when Stark just came out of nowhere, with this thing, and I'm the stuff what they do in their little nucleus and what they're thinking and the stuff they've said, it's all good, it's all correct, it's all right, it's all stuff that could happen. Like right away,
salesman.
Oh yeah, it's a good salesman, but. You've got to be sitting on a really good product that you can deliver. I mean, if you don't have anything to sell and you can, whatever, it's tough. So right away I just went, okay, nothing that they said is impossible. 80 horsepower, not impossible. 1 hour charging, 1 hour runtime, 1 hour charging, not impossible. And especially not in, and I told you this, I said not in a year or a year and a half. I said, I understand. Exactly. I know some things are kind of coming down the pipe. So it's a possibility, but, and this was kind of like, was COVID just kind of getting rolling, or were we into it already? We were already into it.
I put money on that bike December of 21.
Okay.
And they were pushing it mid 21.
Okay, so we were deep in,
right in the middle. Yeah, we're deep. Right, we're masked up.
And
maybe
so,
not in Pahrump.
No, definitely not in Pahrump. Well, I mean, some people did. So they had their spin on it, but even without the supply issues that were coming and things, it was like you would have had to have made some kind of headway, and maybe they didn't expect to have 15,000 people throw them $100. Maybe that was kind of unexpected.
And COVID.
Maybe
COVID.
And COVID, yeah.
Same time.
But if you're going to make, let's just say that they thought 5,000 people, that'd be a good run of something kind of new and futuristic. Everybody wants the newest latest thing, 5,000. Let's go to 3,000. If you're going to make 3,000 of something, you need a 3 or so year lead time with most companies that can make the components that you need, whether it's a frame or a suspension part, and now all of a sudden we're talking about this brand new kind of motor. And I know some people in the power delivery things. I know some people in the battery things. And I just said, can you get 3,000 of these? And they're like, well, maybe if you let us know 5 years ago or something, or even if it's something that's brand new, a company that's just coming out of nowhere, getting that kind of, quantity and then, but the charge speed, I'm just going, it's a little vaporware for me. So all of a sudden I'm the bad guy for not believing in electric future, which I promise you that it's coming. It's
coming for sure.
You will when it's time, you will see KTM and Honda with let's call it a 450 power level motocross bike. Honda's already shown and displayed a 250 size one. KTM, they're kind of toying around. They're really doing it. They're going to do it the right way. They're going to build it in the minis. They're going to get the kids, get them used to it, and just grow it up. But they can't even get their 85 sized one done because they can't get the parts and the supply. And right now there's a big evolution going on in batteries. Big. It's going to be a big change. I don't know exactly what it is. I've just been told it's, there's some materials that they're better. Charge them quicker. They're not as explosive. You don't have to do high voltage charge. You can do lower voltage charging, just interchangeability, just things like this. And as they do that, they're going to learn a little bit about it, and it's evolving. Technology is evolving, and I'm not against it. And I was not against you and your stark dreams.
No, I know.
I didn't want you to be bummed out last November. I had to be the guy that told it like it was.
It's just I don't know. I'm still borderline. I mean, $99, $100 is $100 still. I don't care. But I mean, they might be keeping my $100 because I want to get a different bike.
Yeah, and I know, like I said, now the promises are a little bit. And I saw that date, and that this doesn't even involve like setting up dealerships and having spare parts and getting bikes homologated and made compliant for whatever they are. But when you hear what they talk about, they have a very utopian view of how they were going to go about things. I would love all their stuff. They were talking about having charging stations at tracks, quick charging stations, kind of like a little bit like what Tesla did. And everybody said Tesla's freaking crazy. Now
he's been hanging out with Elon. He's hanging out with Elon or something, huh?
Yeah, but all great ideas, and where that's going to go. And none of the riders that rode the bike, and I don't think they ever really got to ride it in quote 80 horsepower mode. They didn't. None of the test riders could ever really tell me much. And this is what pissed me off about that. All the guys that went over there, I asked them some very specific questions. They had no answers, and I'm like, "What did you do when didn't?" They're like, "Oh, we rode around on a kind of like a golf course, and The
people I've talked to that rode them, they really, really liked them, though. I mean, I'll say names if you want, but like Don Maeda, he was really impressed, and he's a picky son of a gun. And I mean, I am too with bikes. So it's like, I mean, he likes Kawasaki's, I like Honda's, Yamahas. So we're, same but different, but he really liked it. Yeah.
Everybody I talked to, was pretty impressed with it in certain ways and things, but they didn't really test it. This is the thing. They didn't really get to quote test it. They were put out sort of in I don't want to call it field of dreams, but they were only allowed to ride them for a certain amount of time because the batteries overheat and motor engines have issues and things like this. So what's his name picked it as his bike of the year over there at Cycle News. He went all Cannondale on us. He pulled
Jesse?
the Ken Fod. No, not Jesse. Jesse didn't ride it. Ryan Nitzen.
Oh,
yeah, Ryan.
You
He needs to send me a corner coach now. So I brought that up that he picked his bike there. They're gonna get a lot of letters on that one. They need to bring back the letter section.
Did he do that? I'm sorry. Did he really pick it as bike of the year?
It as his bike of the year. Yeah, and I'm
a Cannondale type deal.
Well, I mean,
it was not tested. Not.
Well, he got to ride it, but hey, I hope that it's that impressive and it's that good, and I hope that's why he chose it. But I always, especially when I was doing bike of the year kind of picks and things, it's like I always wanted to make sure it was something that you could buy, you could ride. You could put his bike of the future. You could pick it as bike of the future.
That's a better way of saying it. It is. It really is. I mean, because I know what you'd want to do is ride the piss out of it, try to break it, and then see how long the battery will last, and then go charge the battery, and then go ride it again and do it probably 10 times.
This is why I did this. This is large. Well, number one, I probably wasn't invited to the intro because of the stuff I was saying. Like I was just straight up from the get go, just like I told you. I'm like, they're going to have a hard time delivering on these promises, some of which are they're theoretically possible, currently not an option. And but like
you weren't traveling out of that country at the time too, though. That was
I wasn't. There's no way I was going to go.
Spain.
I didn't care where it was. I wasn't. No, I would travel. I would travel there to go ride it if I was actually going to get to test it. But I kid you not. And this is for almost all brands that do introductions over in Europe. You do a European style introduction. So imagine it's like going to the buffet line at the casino, and you funnel down through this thing, and you get up there, and then you can walk out, and you can grab one thing, grab a bike, you can ride it for one lap and park it, and then you grab another bike and ride it for a lap and park it and grab it for another, and then you go and get into the back of the line and get a new plate and wait again. And it's not testing. No suspension changes, no nothing. It's not testing. And I kind of, even when I was a dirt rider, I refused to go to these things unless I was going to get a bike that I could ride and test. And they're like, no, you're going to ride our whole model line in 2 hours. The rest of the time, you wake up, you go to a special breakfast, they take you on a tour bus and you look at some pretty buildings, and then you get to the track at like noon. And then from noon to 2, you ride the bikes, and then you're back in the truck, and then you go on a boat, and they feed you some nice food, and you stay in a really nice hotel, and then they introduce you to all their team riders. And the next day, you go back to the track, and all the team riders ride the bikes around, and then you take pictures of them. And this is a European.
You still have jet lag.
Bike test.
Yeah, and you're still dealing with jet lag for a few days.
I'm just hungover because I didn't get to ride.
I always have jet lag for a day or two when I go there. I'm like, okay, don't talk to me for 3 days.
Yeah. So that's why, unfortunately, that's why it's tough to do these kind of tests and stuff. And I wouldn't have gone unless they said I could really ride it and test it. And I wanted to see the bike get charged. I wanted to know how they were charging it and different things. This is what you should do. So they said we could get one when they bring them over here. So we'll see. I mean, they're confident. Still confident in the bike.
Still no gray color.
No gray.
No communication. No gray and no communication. I know. I was supposed to get that phone call. They were supposed to call me.
But they sent you a tool. Did they send you a toolkit?
No, those come with the bike, Jimmy. Come on.
I thought they gave you. I thought like in November last year they sent you a toolkit. They said they're going to give you a free toolkit.
So funny. No, I saw people talking about that, and they're like, "I'm just going to bring up the cost of the bike," and it's like, dude, isn't. Well, I guess KTM they don't include that anymore, really, do they? They started cutting back on toolkits and manuals and stuff. But
did they tell you what it was going to cost?
I got the the lowest price, like what 12.9, 13 grand. Okay. And now it's 14 for the one I got, the 80 horsepower, no kickstand, 19-inch, normal rear brake. Yeah.
Yeah, I more power to them. I really do hope they show up, and I'm really more interested to see what this Triumph is. This is
I know.
This is the one I'm interested in. And
there's one more manufacturer coming up.
Beta.
No. I'm going to sound stupid. Lamborghini. No, it's like an Italian Lamborghini or
not Bimota.
No. I swear it's like something weird. No, like Lamborghini or something.
Oh,
they're making. I'm serious. Yeah.
I don't know about this. I haven't been.
Yeah.
Is it all over the internet someplace?
No,
do I have
just
to go check out?
Yeah, some Twitter. No, True Social. No, it's I just read it somewhere, and I think is that the company that recently got their homologation deal for MX1, MX2. I know Triumph did, but they're working on it. Yeah. 12K was the early price. Yeah. No, I saw something right. 12K was the early price. Yeah. I think I paid 12 or I think it was 12.9 though. I don't know. But yeah, there's another manufacturer coming up.
Yeah.
So we're going to have
good.
what, 15? Holy crap.
I just think from a business standpoint and stuff, why you would get into, I think if you're looking at it as a promotional tool only, not to make money, but to promote other things you have in your brand and stuff like that. You think about Supercross, especially a little bit of motocross is a great, the amount of spectators that they get and it gets pretty decent TV coverage for what a small rinky dink sport we are. And it's a way you can showcase super high performance at an affordable price. There's a lot of advantages to motorcycle racing, especially, motocross and off-road, because it's so much about the rider. The rider, I feel, can override the bike as well as you can get a rider as a head case and they can ruin your bike. They can ruin a perfectly good bike too. So, that's my thing. Hey, we got to take a little break, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So we're going to take a quick little break and we're going to come back with our second half of the show, Brian. So hang on and you guys enjoy these small commercials from our sponsors and support the people that support the sport and the show. So see ya.
What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. What is the Taco Touch? It's the best service in the industry. Virtually 24/7 tech support via email or text, and it's like having a dirt bike doctor on call every day of the year, helping you fix your bike or recommend parts or setups for you. If you've ever received an order from us, you know that the Taco Touch extends to our fulfillment, and our orders come with the coolest stickers that you've ever had, buying parts from anybody before, and a handful of root beer barrel candies. All of our Taco Moto Co. branded components come with a no questions asked lifetime warranty, and we'll even extend out the warranty of other manufacturers, OEM, and aftermarket parts where we can, sometimes for life. We test and tune endlessly and exhaustively and obsessively. We're trying to destroy everything that we can before you get your hands on it to look for weaknesses and to improve it or to make recommendations to the manufacturer. And if it's something that doesn't meet grade, then we don't offer it on the store. Everything that we carry is something that we have personally used, tested, and ridden and raced and knows meets the high Taco Touch demanding standard. Go out and get some adventure.
And we're live.
We are back. So enjoy all of our sponsors. They help bring you this show. We are here with Brian Fullerton from Acerbis USA. And Brian wants to know if we're going to talk about Dakar. Actually, believe it or not, just during that, yeah, we can talk about it. So just during that, okay. I got a text from Johnny Campbell. Kind of give me the update on Ricky. So basically, he's in good spirits for what happened. He had a big crash somewhere around kilometer 240, and he was knocked out. And Luciano Benavides came by. I actually saw Luciano's interview on the TV, and he said, "Oh, Ricky was a little bit like this." And so, if the Benavides brothers say you're a little bit like this, you're probably really like that. So. But he was complaining about a lot of neck and shoulder pains. The CT scans came back negative, but he's pretty sore, and I think they're gonna fly back pretty soon. But yeah,
he'll be fine.
super. It seems like
extremities and okay,
yeah,
good.
Seems like it.
He didn't text me back.
Yeah, it's just so bummed for Ricky because it's something you train for all year.
Totally.
And it's the one, it's the one race, but it can happen to anybody. So Yeah, bummed.
And so people know you can get the update on Peacock.
The TV show, yeah. Right. So you can watch the daily updates. Of course, they're all over YouTube.
Yeah.
The Dakar organization is putting it out, and there's a few guys I've seen that are doing a really good job of grabbing the press clips. So they're going, they're grabbing the team press clips and then putting them together, assembling them into a show. So there's a lot of, I mean, it's amazing where it's come. I remember when back when I was doing it, like every 3 or 4 days, my dad would get a fax. Tell us how we were doing.
The fax machine. Oh, yeah,
we'd be able to send out a fax and tell them how it was doing. It's like $20 a page or something crazy to send out a fax from Africa. That's classic. So
now they're racing stage 4 right now as we speak, or they're finishing it. And then when does stage 3 pop up on Peacock for us to watch?
I don't know. I've been watching. So usually by the middle of the day, so around noon our time, so noon West Coast time, the summary, the stage summaries and stuff are live up on YouTube. So I imagine the Peacock thing would be. Sometimes they're a day behind, but I don't know.
Okay, there must be a day. Yeah, maybe the third one comes out tonight.
It would probably be tonight. So it essentially, I think the way that would work on the regular TV, it would be, so tonight would be what happened last night our time, but yesterday for them. So they're essentially racing, not right now, but pretty soon. They would actually 8 o'clock. So it's 7 o'clock, over 7 o'clock. They're the first guys are off in the morning. They're racing. So
but they race stage. So racing 4 right now, but 3 they cut early because of weather,
because of the range. Yeah, they had to ground the helicopters. So because of the
Mason Klein and Skyler they didn't talk anything about weather.
They finished. Yeah, they had already finished.
They finished, but they.
For instance, like Paul Neff actually finished. Paul's running around 50th or 60th place. Paul actually finished the stage, and then they canceled it and cut off a lot of people early. So this is a lot of the really slow guys actually got to, there's some rivers basically that formed out there, and they didn't want them going through them, so they diverted them off out to a highway, and then they got to kind of cut back in. But this is the stuff that happens on rallies, in the middle of stages, things happen, and there's been stages where, whether it was dust storms or different things, and you just never know. So yeah, sometimes the guys at the front have no idea what's going on in the back. It's a whole different race.
Wasn't there one year like some weird thing, like a civil war or some kind of a weird, like something really bad down there, dangerous? Years ago,
when I did it, we rode across the Mauritanian frontier, which was essentially between Morocco and Mauritania, or there was a country that was kind of developing called Western Sahara, is right along the Algerian border. It was literally a frontier, and we rode through a mine cleared path. And when one guys were in uniforms in one color with guns pointing one direction, and half a mile away there was guys in other color uniforms, gun pointing the other direction, and we went across the frontier, and it was gnarly. And they're like, "Don't get off the edge of the road."
And don't look at anyone. No, you did, and you did Paris Dakar.
Yes, yeah. It was the African one. Yeah, the African one. Yeah. So yeah, so Granada Dakar I did Paris to Dakar. No, it was the second one. No, Granada Dakar, Agadez Dakar. Then I did Dakar, Cairo, and then I did Paris to Dakar. So a few different things. They've always 3.5 really. They always change it. They always change it up a little bit. So yeah, that's
Ricky's going to come home.
Yeah, he'll be home hopefully. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I think he'll be coming back pretty soon. I think they're just trying. I mean, the worst thing to do is to have it hang around there after something like that happens.
Yeah, that's horrible.
So anyways, but Mason's doing pretty impressive. Skyler's right up there doing stuff.
Mason's all head to toe at Acerbis. Do you see that?
Really? I saw he was wearing the shirt, kind of like the one you have on right there.
It is actually. I didn't do that on purpose. I promise I didn't. I really truly didn't. But no, that's great. That's great. I wish he was wearing our metallic shirt, but it's okay.
So, yeah, but this is the show we don't talk about racing ever, unless it's about me racing. Just kidding. We have some racers on here. We get some guys every once in a while.
Got to talk about Ricky. Got to talk about our brother.
God, it's just, it sucks because I remember the year his bike broke on the last stage, and that was a miserable year. Like it just, cause the whole time is like, what could have been, what should have been. At least this happened a little bit of, out of the, you weren't really even into the race. The race really hadn't even started. It's gonna, I don't know, cause I'm not there, but, I kind of see that some guys are sort of really expecting this race not to start for a while, and they're just sitting back and, trying to keep themselves composed. And I think that's why you're seeing a little bit of what you're seeing. But, and then, you see the experienced guys. And for those who don't know, Ricky hasn't DNF'd a Dakar from crashing like this. So this is kind of unexpected, but when you log that many miles, all those times, it's going to come sometime or another. So glad he's not too beat up.
And then Sunderland.
Yeah. And it's the same thing. So you have the number one and number two riders from last year are gone, out. And both those guys know how to manage races. Sam has a little bit better track record of winning and then crashing out. Next year. Hate to say it, but Ricky's always been there, always kind of been up in the front, unless he's having mechanical stuff. So good times.
Do you have a way too early winner picked, like a way too early?
No, I was just voting for Ricky. I was just 100% in for RB, and didn't really care. Now I kind of don't. I kind of want to take a couple days off. I don't even want to watch it. It just pissed me off.
It was interesting on the highlights. They actually did mention like, oh yeah, some of these guys are charging a little too hard for this early in the race.
Yeah, Jimmy, would you explain that? I saw the same thing, and he says the racers were like, oh, I went too fast, I went too hard. Like, what do they want to slow down now? I don't get it. Like, they don't want to win the stage.
It's so they're the bikes are completely different. They're racing essentially motocross bikes with big gas tanks on them. It's amazing how fast they can ride these bikes and how hard they can ride them through stuff. And when you see them kind of getting pitched and kicked around and stuff like that, that's okay if you're doing like a 3-hour GNCC. But they're doing they're doing 4 hours and 5 hours, and that bike is not, even though it's like doesn't act like a motocross bike when it's full of gas. And generally, the whole time you're riding it, it always has a half a tank in it. It's full. It's a lot of weight when you're dealing with a pretty light bike overall now. That's carrying probably 30% of its weight in fuel. Maybe 20, pretty much a significant amount of weight and fuel, and that thing starts bucking around and kicking, and the one thing about desert racing that I will say I've noticed over the years is you can throw Hail Marys and pin it, and it rewards you a lot. You don't necessarily need balls outweigh skill quite a bit in desert racing, and you can get away with it until you don't get away with it, and then it bites you. So I think when some of these guys that know better, that have been doing it, that have had a couple big ones, that remember how quickly it comes. You feel great right until the time you're doing cartwheels or your bike lands on top of you and stuff like this, and sometimes you walk away from it, sometimes you don't. And it's so is that what they're doing? They're purposely holding back. That's what Mason was saying. He said it was pushing too hard, riding too fast. I don't. Is that what he said?
The announcer was kind of saying that too. I mean, I don't know. Unless they don't want to start first the next day or something. I don't get it. I don't understand all that.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of strategy in where you finish determines your start position, and they have a kind of a bonus system to give you time back if you do start up front, because they want these guys to race. But unfortunately, the way that this race is working now, it's more about having the right strategy. The best thing to do is finish fifth every day on the stage. Just finish fifth and don't lose a bunch of time to the guys in front. Yeah, just because you'll never have to open. You can follow tracks. And right now when the ground's wet, it's so easy to follow tracks. And I was even watching in the video today, the opening car tracks were there. And we would pray for opening car tracks, because all of a sudden then it was always confirmed. You wouldn't use them to navigate, but it would confirm your navigation. So opening cars, the guys that ran the stage a couple of days before that were verifying the road book, they have to make sure the road book's correct. So, I saw opening car tracks on almost every video, even when the guys that were opening. And it's like, then it's not really that difficult to open because there's not a lot of confusion. And, maybe you might have to check yourself a little bit on waypoints, but in between you can pin it. And so it's so with a wet desert and because usually in a dry desert, the opening car tracks disappear, like the wind blows and it's gone. Yeah. So that's all I know.
So an analogy popped into my head when you were saying like the best thing to do is like finish fifth every day.
Yep.
It'd be kind of similar to what you see at like Tour de France races, where the guy who actually is winning the race, he's nowhere near he's not near the front until the very end.
Not doing breakaways. There's certain days when you decide to do a breakaway, where you can do time. But there's so many good guys now. There's 10, 12 guys that are going the pace, and they're all going the pace, and they're pushing each other. It's not like some times where there was one or two or three real heavy favorites, and those guys would just jostle around. And if those guys and like I said, these guys are racing hard and fast every day. And I remember there was tempos and flows when I was racing, and our stages were 600 kilometers long. Sometimes the racing stage was that long, and you're not going to pin, especially on a 420 pound motorcycle, cylinders hanging out the side.
Right.
you don't go motocross that. You don't go motocross that thing for very long. You're going to get tired. I used to go for training. I'd go take that thing and race Grand Prix in Southern California on it. And in a 45-minute Grand Prix, I would get way more tired than I would ever doing a stage, because you'd be like Moto in it too a bit, but that's going to wear you. I learned that you can't fight that bike. You just have to ride it. So
did you ride it at Carlsbad Grand Prix?
No, I think Carlsbad was closed by then.
Yeah.
I think the Christmas Grand Prix, right?
Yeah, I'm old enough to have ridden there.
Oh yeah, I used to race there every Saturday.
Yeah.
Used to when I first started working at Cycle World. I was down there in Orange County, and it was just a quick drive. We'd go race Moto on Saturday morning and head out and go surfing straight
down by the ocean,
straight down Palomar Road. Just go to that little jetty down there and surf there in the afternoon.
Remember that? Remember the Commotion by the Ocean, Life's a Beach T-shirts? Remember all those good old days? I used to flag when I was like 8 years old. That was awesome.
That's cool. So Weston Rogers said, "I wish my battery material wasn't mined by children in the Congo." Well, I don't think anybody really wants to. So I think that's a Stark stab. I think Stark's probably getting it from outer space, or
I think so.
I think a lot of it is being imported right here through the spaceport just across the hill in Pahrump. That's where the aliens come in.
Yeah, exactly. It is. Tony Stark.
You watch our TV show, don't you? You see all this stuff that happens in town.
Oh, On Patrol Live every Friday and Saturday.
You tried to get me to get on that show. You're like, Jimmy, go race your dirt bike up and down the street.
Yeah, Jimmy, they're going to come by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be on that show.
No, you don't. Actually, if you are, though, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Well, no, I thought the plan was, because it's live, right? The plan was. Yeah. It's not live. I was going to say, if it's live, the plan was.
I mean, it is.
You were going to call me when something was going on, and I was going to go be that guy in the back, and I was going to like wave, maybe pop Willie on my motorcycle,
just get naked,
see if they could chase me.
Wear a whole new episode. Dude, you could wear sexy shirt, boom.
If I get my sexy shirt, is there a bonus? Is there a win bonus if I get my sexy shirt on that show?
I'll sponsor the show. I'm joking. I'm just joking. I mean, no, we'll figure it out. But
product of the week. This is I have to do a product of the week because I was actually really impressed by something that I used to not like. It was the Climb Dakar jacket. I've never ever been a fan of their Climb Dakar jacket, and so I got one. They said it's a new and improved, and I'm like, no, I don't really want. I like the Latitude, and there's a couple. I use this pullover, the Power Cross pullover, my favorite jacket. And they're like, no, got to try the Dakar, Dakar. So they sent it, and I kind of whatever. And I said, so the other day, I pulled it out of the bag and put it on. And because it's not a waterproof, it's kind of like not a real Climb thing because it's not all waterproof and super technical. It's actually quite a bit lower price, but it does have zip off sleeves, which I like. I like having the ability to make a vest. Put it on. I'm like, hey, because the old one felt like you were getting into a box. It wasn't cut right. It was kind of, I don't know. It just wasn't. And as much as I'd complain about it, but anyways, I put this thing on. I'm like, holy crap! So I put it on. And went ride. So I think I wore it when I rode with Trevor that whole day. Mm-hmm. I forgot I had it on, and every time I reached for a pocket, the pocket was exactly where the pocket should have been, and the stuff that was in there was exactly So, and this is the kind of thing. This is how I know I like something is I completely forgot about it, and it has enough stuff to where it's kind of protective, and it was just warm enough, and it zip it down. It was cool enough, all that stuff. So really, and then I wore it. Yesterday when I went riding, actually I was wearing this underneath, just this, and I did sleep in it, so it's my bad for a couple days. So I wore this underneath and that jacket on top, and again I was kind of moto and I was doing some of the sand tracks and stuff, and I was like, I forgot I had it on, and at the end I'm like taking a jacket off, and I'm going, I was wearing a jacket today and not the Power Cross one. So, anyways. Super stoked on the Climb Dakar jacket. I'm going to start wearing it, which is but it's not waterproof. So they put a good water repellent stuff on it, but like the Power Cross is like a snow piece. It's for the snow biking, the sled guys and stuff. So you know that I snowboard in that thing. It's that awesome. And so, but anyways, just wanted to throw out. Thanks, Climb. And Climb does support the show. Let me just make a disclaimer. Climb supports the show. They support me. I help them with product development and stuff. And I had nothing to do with that product development as far as I can tell, other than I complained about every old one. And this one.
You complaining?
No.
Wait,
yeah.
What? No.
Yeah, a little bit. It's constructive criticism, Brian. Constructive criticism.
It is.
You know something I really can't complain about, though?
From you.
Something I really can't complain about is, and I think a lot of people talk about this, is like the fit of Acerbis plastic. It's good.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's nice. So I always know, because I have a lot of different stuff going around, and I always know when I get the Acerbis stuff, it's pretty much going to bolt right on. It's just going to, like on the KTM stuff, it just slides in, goes into place. Yeah, so good.
It better. We'll go back and make it better.
Yeah, like
seriously, we'll do that.
I did that little. I gotta get my Tenere vlog updated, because that skid plate is by far and away one of the best, most Sano, easy to bolt on skid plates I've ever used in my entire life. Like it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Clip. Like you told me, like you had that first one, and you were like, we didn't know how long it was going to take for the second one, right? Right.
Well,
so
first one,
I got one of the early ones for the older Tenere. Mine's a new one. So
that's right.
Said, hey,
you're right.
I remember I told you, I said, I need something. You said, no, I want you to wait for the newest one, the one for that bike. And I'm like, no, I need something now. And I made it work, and it worked. And it probably saved my exhaust system some dings and dents, the old one. Actually, I should give that away. Can I give it away?
Please.
Okay, I'm going to give
Sign
it away.
It, though.
Okay, so here's the nugget in the show. Oh, I'll autograph it. If you have a Tenere, send me a picture of you next to your Tenere, and I will send you an Acerbis skid plate. Especially, it'll work on the 23, but it and it'll work on the older one. It does. I modified it. Remember?
If you modify it, okay.
I modified it, and it's fine. The cat kind of does touch it in that one spot where the cat is, but I modified it and made it. It's good. It'll go on a 23, but it'll go much better on an older one. It'll go right on the older one, and
that's what it's for.
Yeah, you won't even know. Although I've modified it, it's kind of a little different, but it'll still protect everything it needs to protect. It's good. So if you need a Tenere skid plate, I will send. It has all the parts. It's simple. This one's actually pretty simple to bolt on. But the new one is insane. Actually, you'll probably get this bolted on, and you go, God, Jimmy talked about that other one so much nicer. I'm going to buy one of those, and then I'm going to give this skid plate to my other buddy. This skid plate can just get handed on to other people just to get them. It's kind of like the first hit's free. Yeah.
I still have 19 of the old one in stock. So if you need any, let me know.
Yeah. For an older year. Yeah.
Yeah, so for the older year. But the new one, I talked to Damon Bradshaw today, and he's like, I got the skid plate. I'm like, yeah, what do you think? He's like, I haven't put it on yet. And I'm like, come on, man. And I'm like, Jimmy said it took 10 minutes.
Send him my video. I got to talk to him. We got to go. I want to go riding with him this summer.
You're coming up here. He wants to go down there.
Okay.
But he wants to go down there, but no, you guys are going to come here because we're going to film this.
Same thing.
Yeah.
So,
you guys are going to be riding the T7s, and then Bob Lowry will be riding his new, he got a new beta 22-200 RR.
Oh, that's a great ride.
It's his first two-stroke since the 90s, I think.
That was,
he likes it.
Another friend of mine, Brian Lopes, famous mountain bike guy, called me up and said he's thinking about getting the Beta 200. He said he saw my review, and this is what people do. They saw my review and they call me, is that what you really think? I'm like, every last word.
I do the same thing.
I don't not sugarcoating anything here, but he's like, well, anything, and he wanted to get the factory edition or the one with the better suspension. I'm like, hey, the one I rode had really the
race edition. Yep.
Don't be bummed out because it says Sachs or whatever they call it, beta, just the beta fork and stuff like it. Really, if you know how to click them, they're fine. I did not ride the KYB one. I rode the Sachs one. Yep. And I was totally happy.
That's what Bob got. That's what I'm gonna try that one. We're definitely starting to. Go ahead.
I think you can interrupt me. I told you this. Go ahead. Just dive right in. I think I talked about what we did with the suspension on that, but the biggest thing with the beta is break it in, put 10, 15 hours on it, do your clickers, get your clicker set, and then send it off and have your suspension serviced. Don't modify it, service it, and then see if your settings are still the same and everything. And you might be really surprised with how good that stuff works. They used to have problems with the rear shocks fading, doesn't anymore. The front forks used to be a little inconsistent, not anymore. I think it's probably not the same level as like a Showa or
the Sachs
Showa
on the other bikes.
Yeah. I think they're getting better, just like everything. Materials are getting better. Their understanding of stuff is getting better.
I might get hated and some horrible stuff. I just have a weird idea that I think Beta is just going to start nipping at the heels of that Austrian brand.
Yeah. I think
I really do.
I've always said that they've kind of held their own they were always a little bit heavy, but like we talked about earlier, like light isn't always the best thing, and there's certain
exactly.
They used to have counterbalanced two-stroke motors. Beta did way before KTM.
Really,
and then they took it out. They took it out for weight and stuff. So that company has just they don't change stuff unless they need to, and they're very thoughtful about how they do it. And they they move kind of slow, but the stuff seems to work. I've been really happy with most of the betas that I've ridden. So, but nothing can be as good as it. Go ahead.
A Sierra 450 RX. I know.
I struggled with the 450 RX and the X that I rode the other day, and that was the new RX.
You did ride the new X.
The new RX.
Okay.
The new RX.
Okay.
X is the same. X hasn't changed, but the new RX. I actually liked it better than the X for trail riding, and which really surprised me because usually I do not like the kind of aggressive bikes for trail riding, but. I think what happened is I've been getting used to lighter and lighter bikes. I've been riding more two strokes lately, And then I hop back on the X, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of heavy. RX is kind of light, but it has kind of a stiffness and a rigidity. And we actually retorqued all the bolts on the frame, loosened up the swing arm pivot and all that stuff. Because those bikes, sometimes you loosen them all up and set them back in, and they act a little bit different. And it's just I told Trevor, since he lost all the video footage, bring those damn things back out so I can go ride it back to back with some of the stuff I was riding the other day. Because I really want to know. I want to know. I want to figure out what it is. Because I liked those bikes before, and it was funny that I was actually struggling with them. So flavors, just different flavors.
Yeah, so. I like it. I like that. I mean, I ride it I ride here in Idaho for trail riding and little open desert, and then where we park the cars when we go on a couple or certain trail ride, there's a motocross track. So I'll do like a cool down motocross ride. On the bike. And it's fine.
That's what that, like the question, we get the question all the time. It's like, okay, X or RX. And it's like, if you're going to do the track at all, RX 100%. Yeah. That's the thing. If you're not going to do the track, then it's X. And so it's just,
exactly.
It's the versatility. You get to have a bike that'll do more things. So Matt,
I think it's time for Rooster Endo.
It's Rooster Endo time. So Brian, you're familiar with this?
Yeah.
So what we're going to have?
I have one of these bikes.
Are you going to? So these people entertain us with their motorcycle. We entertain them with our thoughts about their motorcycle, and then we reward the one that gives us the most entertainment with a $100 gift certificate from Moto, where you can get almost anything you need for almost any bike, but specifically KTMs and Huskies and gas casks.
Yep.
Specifically. But I wanted to give it to the kid with a TTR 125. Actually, I need to get Dwayne. I need to get Dwayne on the phone, and I'm going to figure out how to get a $100 gift certificate out of that guy, so he can get a big bore kit, so he can be just like Jimmy Lewis when he rips that TTR 125.
Yeah.
That kid was awesome. I can't believe you denied him the money.
You want to pass me that list?
So you need the list here. Yeah, I picked a girl, so they figured we were just like on special needs because I picked a girl and I picked a kid, and then they went straight to the guy that needed it the most. So is he going to get to see this bike?
So I sent him the list already, actually, for tonight's show. So this is from...
I got the list in front of me. Yeah.
Greg Ettinger, a 2017 FE350 with 16,000 miles.
Whoa.
Blaze tuned.
There
we go. Fastway end cap and silencer. I'm going to assume factory connection air boot. Trail Tech Voyager Pro. Baja Designs XL Pro. DID Gold X-Ring chain, Renthal sprockets, Cycra Pro Bend handguards, Pro Taper Pastrana, let's see, OX Hydra, LHRB.
Left hand rear brake.
There we go. Recluse Radius, Race Tech suspension includes stiffer springs, shark fin ties, molecule skid plate, Acerbis plastic, Acerbis frame guards, double take mirrors, Hammerhead 5 shifter, and a Shirai battery.
And he did not know that you were going to be on the show when he submitted this. So those are organic Acerbis plugs there. So no, we didn't advertise. We always keep the guests kind of a little bit secret. Yeah,
honestly, that's nice.
Well, usually because they bail like about 10 minutes before the show. Like you're the opposite. I tried to bail on you, and you got me going.
Yeah, you're the one who wasn't feeling good and didn't have a good day, and I was ready. I was waiting all day.
Yeah. Yep. Jerry Bernardo wants you to know that he designed the logo behind you.
Yes, Jerry Bernardo did. Will we get to talk about Acerbis later?
What's Acerbis?
It's our 50th anniversary next year.
Oh, okay.
And it's someone else's 25-year anniversary next year.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, kind of weird.
So I've been running Acerbis stuff for more than 50 years. He did that whole move right there, and he wasn't even on the screen, was he? He was behind that motorcycle.
Oh,
so we were blocking out the advertisement you tried to put up there. Matt's confused.
I'm a little confused. What you're talking about right now.
Did the bike stay up in front of his move there? We talked about the logo.
No. I took the bike out of the way. When you guys were just talking and I'm talking about the bike, I went ahead and I brought it off.
I like this bike. It's a Husky though.
I do too.
It's clean.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it.
Is this would we call this hot or not? Is this the hot or not segment?
Roost or Endo? either Roost.
That's a Roost.
It's a Roost.
Hot or Not.
I'm gonna this. Hot or Not used to be a website. No, it's a full Roost with me. I mean, all the parts on there and everything. I mean, that thing's freaking dialed.
We get a lot of these. We get a lot of really dialed in bikes. In half the time. Oh, this is actually was supposed to be called Roost, Endo, or For Sale.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you get you get a really complete parts list. Like somebody spent some time on it. They didn't just do it in 2 minutes on the pooper right before the show. They actually just pulled their listing off of Craigslist and sent us the photo. And we know that people have sold their bikes off of this show.
A certain producer may have sold their bike off of this show.
Really?
Oh, yeah, Matt did. Well, actually, he didn't give me the commission yet because the guy that bought it. No, the guy that bought it watches the show. He won something and he came over to pick it up. And when he picked it up, he goes, "Yeah, I'm thinking about a 300 two-stroke." And I go, "I know a guy." So it wasn't necessarily off the show. Well, it's kind of indirectly off the show.
Right.
So,
well, yeah, I'll work on getting you the finder's fee.
Well, these are twins.
Yeah. So this guy kind of broke rules. Not really supposed to submit 2 bikes at once. So that's kind of going bad for him anyway. So on the left, we have a 2019 KTM EXE F 450 6 days with a Vortex ECU, smog delete, FMF pipe, Craft Moto suspension, Recluse clutch, GPX stabilizer, Voyager Pro GPS, and Cycra brush guards. Then on the right, we have a 2021 KTM 300 XCW 6 days, FMF slip-on turbine core, GPX stabilizer, Mojo pegs, Mojo's Shanklin.
Shanklin? What's a Shanklin?
I have no idea what a Shanklin is. It sounds like something you need in prison as a shank. Cycra brush guards.
Yeah.
What? So what was the first bike? It was a what?
2019 KTM 450.
450 6 days. Yeah. Okay. So he's got his street legal bike and his dirt only bike. He's got some other stuff in there.
Yeah. Is that like a Harley or something that's underneath those blankets?
I'm not a big fan of the guys who just walk outside in their garage and take a picture of their garage.
Well, there's also a third bike back there that's never mentioned.
Yeah, that one looks. Hey, people were bagging on the Acerbis. What's the headlight called? The one with the LEDs, Brian?
The DHH.
The DHH? Is that
the two little?
No, the square. No, the square headlight. The square LED one.
The new one?
The new one. I was VSL, is that what it is? VSL?
What do you mean people are bagging on it?
Last week, they were giving it a hard time.
I think there was. Yeah, I think Kendall was talking about
Kendall,
it,
and then he got the bandwagon rolling. He got people, and I was telling him, I'm like, look, I raced King of the Motos that thing, so it's King of the Motos finishing headlight. I wanted you to be on the show last week.
I'm sorry,
you were busy. Family things, remember?
Oh yeah, Mom.
Yeah, you weren't sick. No, you had Mom.
This endo's for me.
These bike Matt's wants to move on.
Well, no, these endos for me because you're submitting 2 bikes at once.
Oh, he didn't follow the rules, and he took a picture in his garage.
And it's
that's what that headlight in the back that's just popping up over the top of the handlebars there. That's what it kind of reminds me of, but it's not. It's not it.
Oh, there's a 4th bike actually that's kind of hidden. There's a CRF that's hidden.
CRF.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah, if you look between the handlebars of the 2 bikes.
Oh yeah, it does say CRF. He's got a whole load of bikes in there.
Yeah, he's got 4 bikes. Only 2 of them are mentioned, and he doesn't even talk about the Harley. He's got a lot of blankets.
They're not even cleaned.
A lot of clutter. And look at the condition of that little wheel chalk right there. It's also really muddy.
Oh, is that what it is? A wheel chalk?
Yeah, I think so. So
yeah, Endo.
I want to see that Harley.
Yeah, those are some really nice. I can't even. Where's the Harley?
Underneath the blankets, right there on the left.
That's the fairing right in front.
Oh, I can't.
I don't know if it's actually a Harley. It's just a road, some kind
of. This guy has too many bikes.
Too many bikes. And you got to either mention them all or just mention one or
didn't follow the rules. Yeah, we have a big thing with following the rules. At least he got the year, make, and model. We've kind of drilled that one home.
Yeah. But people have been much better about that. All right, so this next one is going to be from Kevin Tanis. Now this one
Is the suspension lowered on this, or is it just a weird angle?
It might just be a weird angle. Let me check. This is a 2023 450 XCFW bone stock, 0.5 miles, 4 hours old, and she's about to go through a metamorphosis.
This is an outreaching for the gift certificate.
Yep.
This is a 100% gift certificate outreach. But that's okay. Mm-hmm. You know, we like to see. Yeah. So it's totally bone stock, and it looks scrunched.
I think it's just the angle.
It's just the photo. It's the iPhone photo.
I'm pretty sure it's the angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, another one of these awesome garage photos. I like to check out the shop, see what he's got going on in there. See,
this is a clean shop.
It's a nice looking shop. He's got the swamp cooler in the back there. Mm-hmm. See that? Must be in a nice hot environment. Mm-hmm. That's a clean bike. I could take that thing and ride it for sure.
The only thing that concerns me is he says it's got 0.5 miles on it. It's 4 hours old, and he's about to put a lot of stuff on it.
Wait, 4 hours? Is it 4 hours like from the dealership, or did he take 4 hours to ride at 0.5 miles?
I think 4 hours from the dealership.
Okay.
That thing is way too clean to have taken 4 hours to ride 0.5 miles.
Right. Why don't you ride it for 20 hours and then do some stuff so you can tell
the difference between?
Well, yeah. So you know. So what's his name?
This is Kevin.
Kevin will be sending me an email that thinks that the manufacturers have conspired to sell him a horrible motorcycle, and that why doesn't it come with all the things that he's going to do to it?
I hope he's not the hillbilly for Christ commenter.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Well, he'll have me struck down.
We first need to change. But hey, Kevin, we need to change the roof fender from white to orange.
Wait, no, Jimmy. I think
that would help a bunch.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
Yes.
I think you're actually right about it being lowered. Looking at the forks on the triple clamps.
Oh yeah, look how high they are.
Yeah.
Wow. How do
Kevin,
I know
we need
this?
to work on that.
How do I know this? Like why am I? Yeah, it's motorcycles.
Jimmy, I think you've been around motorcycles for a year or two.
For too long. Yeah.
You're an OG.
No, there's another one.
There's another one.
There should be another one.
I threw it. Did I throw it? Oh, holy sh! This one looks like it's for sale. I'm just looking at the list.
So this is actually the father of our girl who won.
Kevin's bike endos.
I think it Roosts for me. I was kind of giving him a hard time.
I'm gonna go with the Roost. I'm gonna go with the Roost.
You are?
I'm gonna go for a Roost for now, but he needs to put more time on it before he starts modifying it. Okay.
Test things. Do things kind of like I did with my Tenere, one at a time.
Right. So this is Todd Lofstrom, father of Savannah, who was the girl who won a couple weeks ago.
Okay, Matt.
2005 Yamaha YZ250. Frame is gently broken in with 1,200 hours.
Okay, Matt. Hold on. We're gonna go into riding coach mode. By the way, Matt is a certified USMCA riding coach. Mm-hmm. He can do you private lessons. He's in charge of administering our online courses, which if you just got a new bike or know someone got a new bike and you want them to learn how to ride properly, what did that guy say? I gotta call up that email.
So someone who had just recently purchased our online course actually said,
Philip Jerko. Let me just say this.
Yeah.
So he says compliments to the chef, which he meant the coach. So anyways, I just finished your online course because I have not been able to make it out in person. At first, I was a bit disappointed at the rudimentary drills, but then I tried them and my ego was checked. Tougher than I imagined. Mm-hmm. But importantly, I wanted to say thanks for the one leg down concept. I have a 29-inch inseam and was debating lowering my 500 EXC. I ride an 890 Adventure and usually can barely tiptoe with both feet. But I think it has made me a better rider because when my riding buddies paddle, I have to stand through it all. I'm going to keep the 500 stock height and practice the one leg balance more. Cheers, Phil. Mm-hmm. So, yes. Anyway, so
you don't need to just be a beginner to learn something.
No. It's the basics for the things, and yeah, rudimentary, but it's the basics that make all the difference. So put on your riding coach hat for what's our name?
So Todd's got to work on his form here because
what's the core problem? What's the core problem? Just
there's so many things wrong.
I know, but there's
one
one thing that's causing all of it.
Well, he didn't regrip.
Exactly.
That's the first thing I see.
Exactly.
Is he doesn't regrip, so that's causing him to stay scrunched down.
That's it. That's the only That's the only problem. If he would regrip, everything else would come pretty easily.
He's gripping with his knees a little too hard. That's also preventing him from standing up. But the number one thing is that his wrists are not. Yeah, he needs to regrip his handlebars.
Or and this is where the years of experience come into play. Mm-hmm. So you can tell he's in one of those janky arena cross tracks, farm town arena cross track and stuff like that. He may have seat bounced the jump that he's going over right now.
Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like.
and this is the resulting. He actually is not trying to stand up. He's being forced into the bike is actually rotating kind of forward. It's seat bounced him like it was supposed to, I think. Anyways, but yeah, the regrip would help substantially.
Yeah.
If this were the position, if I can't tell whether either or is happening, whether he took off the jump like that or regrip, but anyways, back to it.
All right, so frame's gently broken in with 1,200 hours. Replaced the subframe because last year his boot wore a hole through the aluminum near the foot peg. He practices at the indoor track during the winter when everything is frozen in Minnesota. He's coming up short hurts with the enduro suspension, and he came up short in this picture.
Well, the seat bounce didn't work. The seat bounce is designed to give you more distance. Pop. Yeah, more pop. Okay.
So chassis mods is 2007 YZ250F forks and shock revalved with Racetech gold valves, 18-inch rear wheel, 2009 YZ450F rear swing arm and linkage. The original swing arm broke. New swing arm is a little lighter than stock and has a little less deflection. Fastway foot pegs in low and rear position. He is 6'1". Fastway billet kickstand. Fast flex handlebars with a 12-degree moto bend. He's old. Acerbis flags. Clark oversized fuel tank. Unibike radiator guards. Seat Concept Super Gripper seat. Galfer stainless steel brake lines and oversized rotor. Hide skid plate if there's rocks, but we only have a few rocks here in Minnesota. Motor mods. GYTR flywheel weight. Wiseco clutch. Vortex CDI. Power hookups better, less wheel spin when he revs out the motor. Apex low compression enduro cylinder head. V-Force 3 reeds. DEP pipe with stock silencer and with mini spares. Tried wide ratio transmission, but prefers the stock transmission for the riding up there. Detailed and thick maintenance log. Thanks, Todd Lufstrom.
Dude, I love that he rides the shit out of this bike. Does everything on it. Yeah, and that's a.
I love the story that he wore a hole through the subframe with his foot.
He looks like looks like Big John, like size 13 boots or something like that.
Yeah,
because that's how John hangs on is with his like boots and ankles and stuff. Because his knees are over the seat gas tank, so. That's a big problem for like larger riders and stuff. Is people they all hear this like, you need to grip with your knees, grip with your knees.
Yeah, I can't.
Your knees are up in outer space. You're not going to grip with those things. You don't really. And all this stuff about gripping motorcycles, that's a bunch of BS. Like top riders don't really grip the motorcycles. They hover over them and they anticipate what they're going to do and they float.
Yeah, but this is a hell of a Roost.
I like
that bike for me. I
think it's a Roost.
That's a full Roost for me. That guy's happy.
Yeah. The bike is happy because it's getting worked. It's good.
Yeah, he's actually riding his bike in the winter when I'm snowboarding. Trying to snowboard.
Yeah, I like that.
Matt,
good action picture. Good action picture.
Matt, we didn't get any Hondas or any red bikes. We just got orange and white
and blue.
Yeah.
Blue. No Hondas unless you wanted to submit yours.
Oh, we don't really ban guests from submitting bikes. So when you're ready to sell,
it's Matt.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, already.
Then Matt's like usual. He's dropping the ball. This is what happens.
There it is.
Not getting that.
Okay.
Well, it was supposed to be the late minute.
We're not putting in the show. It's coming in next week.
Coming in next week.
It has to come in next week.
Yeah, we're running off here.
Running out of time.
Yeah, I just saw the time. Okay.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Somebody's got to drive.
Sorry,
for 4
Brian.
hours.
No worries. That's fine. That'll be good. I'll watch next week. Maybe I'll call in.
Yeah, you can call in on the Seat Concepts Hot Seat Hotline.
What is that number again? What?
It's 775, and we have an answering machine if you want to leave a horrible message.
That'd be good.
Especially if you want to bag on our guests. We always like that because you don't want to do it live. You just want to do it when they're not looking. They can't defend themselves. So here's a 775-318-5515. Maybe the best message will get something cool out of my collection of stuff. The best message this week. Okay. It's undeniable which one I like.
It's Todd.
It's Todd.
Yeah, that YZ250 is awesome.
Yep.
Kicks ass. He's using it. Yep. He loves that thing.
Have we sent two to one family now?
Oh shit.
That's okay because this guy also not only does he have a bike that he roosts on and it roosts and he's roosting the best he can when he's riding. He made his daughter submit a rooster endo. Is like a good father should.
That's awesome.
Made his daughter send one in, and it was actually she won too. So yeah, family's taking it in. So
it was awesome. Yeah, Todd, go ahead.
Will you give Todd? Yeah, Todd, reach out to Matt and Matt. Send me Todd's info, and maybe we can send him a freshie, clean plastic kit.
Yeah.
Whoa,
we'll do that too.
That's super solid, Brian. Yeah. Acerbis.com, sponsoring Taco Tuesday in all the right ways. So really, really happy with that. So, hey, Todd, thanks for supporting the show. Get your buddies to check out this show. I was actually thinking we weren't going to have much to talk about, but Brian, you helped carry the show because I'm a horrible host. If you...
I tried. I just didn't want to interrupt, and I'm interrupting you right now.
It's good. It keeps
good.
the flow. You should... Did you watch the Jerry Bernardo show?
I did. Yeah.
That was the best show ever because I hardly had to talk. Every time I tried to say something, he told me to shut up. He was taking over, which I was like.
I was hoping Jerry was going to call in on the hotline.
He kept texting me. He sent
he's
Jerry, pretty impressed with the logo. He could use the hotline, but he works in mysterious ways, for sure. Yeah. But
Uncle Jerry designed our Bitchin' 50th anniversary T-shirt, by the way.
And when's that coming out?
I'm going to see some prototypes in January. I'll be wearing them when I go to the Parts Limited show.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's the front.
I see in the back.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Italy's pumped on it. Yeah, I got to get Uncle Jerry I wish we could just hire him to just design all of our clothing, but we don't do a whole lot of clothing. That shirt will last a while.
Plastic company. So, hopefully you learned something on this show, everybody. There's little nuggets in there. Mm-hmm. Get you through a drive or maybe a really long bowel movement or, whatever it takes these days. Yeah. So, Brian, thanks for coming on. Thanks for helping out with all the different projects that I'm always goofing around working on. Thanks to old Franco for saving me from a life of slavery. I've told this story on the podcast before. So in one of the episodes, I told how Franco stopped me. I was watching a video last night on YouTube about trains. I like weird stuff. They were talking about freight trains, and they were talking about the one that runs from Zourat, Mauritania, the Mauritania train line, and that's where it all went down, was in Zourat, Mauritania.
That's where it happened.
So, anyways, Franco has a chalet there.
Papa Franco. Yep.
So, okay.
And you saved Johnny Campbell too.
He saved all of us poor racers at one point or another. So, great seeing you at Acerbis 50th year anniversary. Check those guys out. The best fitting plastic known to man. Even though they don't have all the colors, they have the color that you need. Right?
Heck yeah. And I'll come in the studio this year.
Awesome.
I gotta get down there.
Sweet.
Yeah, we have to ride though.
You just got to tell me how long. You got to tell me how long the ride is though, and how many miles and how many hours. I got to know before we go.
Ooh, that's not one of the things I'll make sure Heather's here and then you're safe. It's like this.
No,
I tell
she's
people
scarier than you.
No. People go, Jimmy, I really want to ride with you. I'm like, no, you don't. Yeah. And then they're like, oh yeah. And they ask questions just like you did. And if you ask those questions, you can't go riding with me. I take my wife. I say, you go riding with Heather when Heather comes, and it's going to be a really fun ride. Everybody will enjoy the ride. It's going to be because I'm not going to kill my wife.
No.
But if she's not around, then weird things happen. So, anyways.
God.
Thanks for joining in. Thanks everybody for watching the show and sharing it with a friend and shopping through the links. I'd like to thank our sponsors one last time: Yamaha, Taco Moto, Scott Sports, Climb, DDC, Trail Tech, Fasst Company, C Concept, Bulletproof Designs, which, by the way, they have all of the protection for the 23s ready to go. I just bolted some stuff on my newest 500, so it's indestructible. And Double Take Mirrors. And I'm working on getting that song done so we can have that video out.
Perfect. And don't forget to shop through the Rocky Mountain and Amazon banner links on our support DVD tab on dirtbiketest.com.
For sure. Thank you, Matt, for not having too many technical difficulties. And Brian, we will see you out in the trail. Cheers.
Heck yeah. We'll see you guys. Cheers.